Hello Bandits! Today we're looking at the long-standing favourite of mine, the IO Interactive and Square Enix latest release of Hitman. In a slightly controversial move, the teams have decided to publish the latest instalment in episodic format. Currently we just have the prologue missions and the Paris mission in the official story, but it's not all there is to the game.
Similar to Absolution, as well as the storyline, there are a number of challenges, which will help all players get the most out of each level. Killing your targets or infiltrating the area in new and exciting ways will net you mastery points, leading to a boost in replayability for those of us chasing high scores. Adding this to the contract creation system, where you can take part in or manufacture your own hits, there's enough at least to whet our appetite in the first release.
As well as those, we also have the Elusive Target and Escalation modes, which will keep us going as we wait for each episode to be released. These modes both take place in the same area as your story, but lend new aspects to your time here. With your Elusive Target giving you a limited window to make your hit, and the Escalations giving more challenges through one mission, you can either challenge yourself, or match your wits against the admittedly lacklustre leaderboards.
We can see the same opportunities we would expect from any Hitman title, using improvised weaponry and acquiring disguises to blend in and infiltrate areas where the public aren't allowed. One adaptation from Absolution is that now your disguise will get you past most people, while certain folks will have an indicator over their heads which tells you they will pay more attention and will see through your cover.
The game leads you in slowly, and while there's enough hand-holding for new players during the first guided tutorial, we're soon thrown into a free-form approach to the level, leaving veteran assassins to explore the environment and find new and interesting ways to infiltrate the area and take out our targets.
After we move on from the first tutorial mission, we're led into our final examination mission for the International Contract Agency, and we'll be mostly left to our own devices, though of course we'll still have our hand Diana in our ear. One thing we're introduced to here is the opportunity system, which allows you to track possible assassination methods if you manage to overhear the right conversations.
The opportunity system is a great addition, we think, and if you have the full system on, it will allow inexperienced players to get the most out of the game. Though it can of course be turned to minimal or completely off for those of us who like the more pure Hitman experience. The opportunities will still be present within the levels, but you'll just not be given any waypoints or tracking information.
Locate the ejector seat handle.
The game really shines once we're out of tutorials and among the rich and powerful at the Sanguine fashion show in Paris. We can see again just by looking at the challenges for the level that there are multiple ways to infiltrate the area and take out your targets, and these do help boost the replayability as you try to collect them all.
The experience is an immersive one, and you're left to your own devices as to which entrances to take, which costumes to grab, and which ways of terminating your targets. Will you set up a fireworks display and go for a long-range sniper rifle? Dress as a model and enter a meeting with your target? Or use poison to get your mark in the perfect position? The choice, as ever, is yours.
As well as the main storyline assassinations, we are given a number of challenges and there are some other aspects to the title. Though the episodic format of the game limits the content considerably, leaving you with just the one main area of the fashion show, the challenges and contracts set by other players, as well as the opportunity to create contracts yourself, do boost the profile slightly.
While the gameplay is great and the sort of thing we've come to know and love from the Hitman series, unfortunately the title loses a lot in the menus and loading screens. Now, in order to access the challenges for each level, you'll have to be connected to the Hitman servers.
It's a strange choice for a game which is single player only. However, the worst aspect is that if you are mid-level and you disconnect, you will instantly be sent back to the main menu in offline mode, and it's happened to us more than once in the short time we've had the title. The loading screens also leave a lot to be desired. With waits of around a minute when reloading or restarting, it can make the game a little more of a grind than we'd expect.
Hitman is another in our Parents Guide series which has been rated by PEGI as 18, and we can certainly see why, but as ever, here are the PEGI ratings in descending order.
Violence 9. Only to be expected really, you are playing an assassin, and while there's no blood for most of the kills, you'll be garroting, shooting, drowning people in toilets, or arranging for them to be crushed in nasty accidents.
Language and drugs 5. There is certainly some language in the game, however it's very sporadic, and as the emotionally stunted Agent 47, it's certainly not coming from you. Bad language can sometimes be overheard in passing conversation. While not using traditional drugs, 47 has the opportunity throughout levels to make use of plenty of poisons and lethal drugs, to either incapacitate or eliminate his targets.
Fear 3. Not a horror game by any stretch, but certainly full of tense moments as you're avoiding security and trying to remain hidden in plain sight.
Online, discrimination, sex and gambling all have 0. While there are online aspects to the game such as leaderboards, it's not a title which will see you in direct contact with others, so no voice communication to worry about. And discrimination doesn't play a part either. All contracts are equal to Agent 47.
As the cold-blooded and eponymous Hitman, you will not have any opportunities for romance through this title. And let's face it, nobody wants to see Agent 47 in any kind of compromising situation. Likewise, he has no affinity for gambling either. There's no time for fun and games when you're an international assassin.
It really is the violence which sets Hitman up as an adults-only title. But while it's maybe not one for the little ones, how does it stack up for us grown-up bandits?
Graphics 9. We've been blessed with some really quite beautiful graphics in the past, and this instalment in the Hitman series is really no exception. Lovingly detailed environments await as we head through the stories and missions in Paris. Story 8. The game serves as both prequel and a sequel to its predecessors. We've enjoyed seeing a flashback to 47's first training missions, and we're hoping this continues throughout the episodes.
Quite right.
Sound 5. While different areas of the environments will have well thought out music and different snippets of conversation will float over the general hubbub, the transitions between areas can be very jarring and will break immersion considerably.
Replayability 8. Though we have just the one level at the moment, with more coming in coming months, there's a good amount of replayability. While there's just the 2 main targets in story mode, the different challenges as well as the ability to plan your items and entry into the mission is a good touch, and adds a lot before we even look at player created contracts, escalation and elusive target modes.
Satisfaction 7. I'd love to give this more. As a long-time fan of the Hitman series, I have to say the gameplay is great. It keeps the best bits of Absolution and dumps the elements that didn't work into an empty wardrobe. If it was just gameplay we were looking at, the title would be rated considerably higher. However, the clunky menus, exorbitant loading times, and server connection have impaired what is otherwise a great installment in the Hitman series.
Once more, that's all from us today. Find our full web review on the title over at pixelbandits.org, and we'll be looking forward to competing with some of your high scores in the near future. As ever, we've been Pixel Bandits, and you've been awesome. Thanks for watching.